What's up, friends? Welcome to the 26 Podcast with Luke and Adrian. On this podcast, we focus on Web3 and achieving your personal potential. Today's episode is a Web3 project spotlight where we go deep into the NFTreasure project with none other than Jon Ray, the project lead. We'll explore how the combination of NFTs and premium merchandise is revolutionizing the way we interact with the digital and physical realms, all while celebrating the power of community and culture in the world of Web3. As with all of our episodes, none of what you hear today is to be considered financial advice. This is purely for entertainment and educational purposes. With that all said, let's talk NFTreasure. What's up, friends? Welcome to the 26 Podcast with Luke and Adrian. We are very excited today to welcome a special guest. We have Jon Ray with us from NFTreasure. Jon Ray, glad to have you with us, man.
Yeah, thanks for having me, guys.
Yeah, it's been good to get to meet you in person. Listeners, we had a chance to meet with Jon Ray this past weekend in person. He's actually resides in the same city I do in Austin, and it was just great to get to connect with him and interested in having him share some of his story with y'all.
Yeah, we had a good conversation already in person. I'm really looking forward to bringing some of that in here. I was wearing my big Cockatoo NFTreasure t-shirt or hoodie, and so we got some of that big cock energy out into the Austin IRL scene, and it's always fun to see people's faces when you bring cock off of Twitter and into the real world.
I think they stop they start dropping their coffees all over the place, man. When they started reading your sweatshirt,
That's what happened for sure.
coffee flew everywhere.
Our conversation hit at such a level of intensity just on the tokenomics of cock and the explosive growth of that, but also the reason that we even connected is because I was so interested in the chicken farming strategies that you guys had, and I went through all of your videos, and I want to give you both kudos because that really helped me deploy some capital into the chicken project. So for those listening, if you haven't seen it, definitely check that out because I was lost in all of the white papers, and your video really helped present a narrative path for me. So thank you. Hopefully we can do that for NFTreasure today.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Glad that helped.
Oh, absolutely, man. It's always fun talking chicken strategy for sure. But let's start off, man, with just a little bit of introduction of yourself and NFTreasure, just maybe a little bit of personal background and the journey into the blockchain and the NFT space.
Yeah, so I've been in crypto for a little over 3 years now. For those who have been in the AVAX scene for a hot minute now and would consider themselves OGs, my introduction to the Avalanche network was Wonderland and the Smartcoin project, but both that kind of went up in flames in crypto, and I think a lot of us learned a lot from those projects. But as an investor in Smartcoin, I started to make content about my journey, my understanding of DeFi, and I was posting those as videos on YouTube and was elected into a community management role in that project. And so, over the last 2 years, we kind of took the death spiral of that project and the remaining treasury in Smartcoin, and that was turned over to the community in a container that we called Project X. And so Project X was when everybody from the Smartcoin community had the opportunity to pitch a project idea of what we would do with the remaining Smartcoin treasury. We received 72 proposals for different project ideas. Those proposals were voted for in a snapshot vote using your smarter tokens. And ultimately, we landed on a DeFi game / NFT marketplace / e-commerce system that has become NFTreasure. And so the right way to think about NFTreasure is that there's 50,000 NFT projects. On every single one of those projects, roadmaps is merchandising or some kind of merch. Win merch is a common mantra in many NFT discords, and it's one of the least delivered items in projects, DeFi, crypto, and NFT, because most project leads are developers. They're not into fashion. They don't know how to run a Shopify store. There's decision fatigue that happens when you try to set up a Shopify store. And if they're able to do it, they're just connecting it to a big box printer like Printify or Printful, where you have these long shipping times. The quality of the garments isn't as good. There's not as much customization. And so NFTreasure is a premium merchandising business where you can get really high-end hoodies, t-shirts, garments for your project. We've partnered with streetwear artisans who have been doing this for decades, who really are going to take the time and care to make sure that your print turns out right. And then all of our garments are NFC connected so that you can engage with various digital experiences. So some of those things can be just authenticating that this actually did come from this NFT project. One of those things could be that the NFC chip verifies that this is number 44 of 1,000 in a limited edition collection. Regardless, there's a lot of interesting things that we can do with the NFC chip, and on the back end of that, we're building these digital augmented reality experiences. So yeah, go ahead.
Sorry, man. I was going to say, give us kind of like I'm not sure if everybody understands what the NFC chip is, and maybe kind of the high level or the synopsis of the concept and the vision of the NFT chip and the NFTreasure.
So an NFC chip is basically an encrypted computer chip. All iPhones and Android phones have an NFC chip reader in them. And so when I used to work for Google, we used to put these big Google Places stickers on every business across the country. And those stickers had an NFC chip in it. And so you could hold your phone up to that sticker, and then the business could decide if they want to give you a coupon, if it allowed you to easily write a review. And so it's basically an encrypted way for you to be able to engage with a user and then trigger a digital experience. With NFTreasure, all of our garments, I'm wearing a shirt right now, so this label right here is an NFC chip. And so when you scan that with your phone, it's going to authenticate that the garment is real. But then on the back end, what we're building out is a marketplace of experiences that NFT projects can offer to their community. So imagine being able to hold up your phone, and you've got the camera app open, and an animation pops out of your shirt and plops down on the table here, and that animation is connected to a GPT that's been fed on your white paper, and now you can have a conversation with this animation that knows all about your NFT project. So these are the type of future experiences that we're going to be building out. And the cool thing is that anybody that has an NFTreasure shirt now, which the functionality is basically like being able to airdrop tokens or NFTs directly to the garment. Well, retroactively, we can engage some of these digital experiences as we build out a marketplace of them. And so we feel, based on our early testing, that this is going to be a really interesting project for people to build loyalty. Because in an NFT project, you don't want people to floor all of your NFTs. And so to maintain a floor price, you need to make sure that you have diamond-handed holders. Well, if I have a shirt that has an NFT that has my NFT on it, it's less likely that I'm going to end up flooring that NFT, because I don't want somebody to ask me about my shirt and then me be like, actually, I paper handed it. And so we feel that merchandise can be a really interesting way to increase the average holding time of these NFTs. And then, because NFT communities tend to be very vocal and active on social media, we feel that there will be a viral nature to the NFTreasure brand. So one of the things that we're building out in the NFC chip is, if we're talking like we were at the coffee shop the other day, and you're like, oh man, I love that Cockatoo hoodie. It's so cool. I saw 1/3 Nerd was wearing it. I got to get one. I can be like, well, scan this NFC chip and you can buy it right now. It'll immediately trigger your Apple Pay. You double click on the side of your phone. Now that triggers an order in our system to send you that hoodie. And I, as the person who triggered that sale, get a commission on the sale for sharing it with you. And so we feel like there can be a really interesting brand ambassadorship program that gets baked into the NFTreasure NFC chip down the line. And of course, all garments that are out in the wild right now will be able to retroactively engage with those future experiences. So that's the high level of kind of what the physical product is and how we're planning to bridge the digital to the physical world. And then our community gets to share in the growth of the project through our DeFi game. Our DeFi game has Tokenomics, very similar to Chicken, although we've tried to take what worked in Chicken and the best aspects of Chicken, and as an homage to them, then build out different systems. And so anytime a garment sells in our e-commerce store, we're taking 10 to 40% of that revenue, using it as an advertising expense to get the community excited about NFTreasure and share it. And we're buying the treasure token off of the open market. And so, you know, just like you want to earn egg and you want to earn feed in chicken and all of these different tokens in order to build out whatever your strategy is, the tokens that we utilize in the NFTreasure system are the treasure token, the smarter token, and our treasure key NFT. And between those three tokens, you're able to kind of capture the value of the NFTreasure ecosystem. And there's all different ways that we can incentivize the community for sharing out merchandise from various projects.
So kind of digging into that marketplace a little bit more. I think first of all, I think it's really cool that if I'm like out and about, somebody likes my shirt, they want to buy one, they can easily just get to it, because that's a common thing. Like you wear something cool, people are like, where did you get that? And if I can just say like, actually just tap this tag with your phone and you can get your own, that's pretty cool to be able to do that as well. So thinking about the consumers a little bit more. So, they, when they're making these decisions, obviously there's, ways to get things. Tapping that is a good one. You'll have a website as well. Kind of what's their journey as they go to that? Is it easy to kind of find a specific project in there? Do the projects have their own merch stores, or how does that work?
Yeah, so basically in the store, when you click on the shop now button and go to the catalog, we have a projects kind of tab there. And so any merchandise that's designed specifically for a project is going to have a category tag there. You can click on that and it will open that category brand page. And these are community brand pages, so it doesn't necessarily mean that it's official gear from the project. Many of these projects are decentralized, and so they want their community to participate in the design process. And so we facilitate that, where you can upload your design to the product creator tool that we've built. You can position it onto a garment, a hoodie, a t-shirt, any of the products that we have in the store, and then you could submit that to become a product in the store. Then once you mint a treasure key NFT, you can use the DeFi loop that we have to earn up to 40% commissions. So One Third Nerd designed the Cockanoo Run DMC hoodie that I was wearing at the coffee shop. He's right now, because we're running a promotion, he's earning 40% every time somebody buys that hoodie. So he gets $31 every time that hoodie sells, and that hoodie is selling pretty well. And so the opportunity for people who are active in various crypto communities, nobody knows the memes and the jokes and the inside jokes of projects more than people who are living in a project's Discord all day long. So we want you to be able to monetize that in-depth knowledge by being like, you know what, we say this phrase all the time. I should go in Canva, or I should go in the NFTreasure project creator tool and create a shirt around this and upload it to the store. And then I can pitch it on my Twitter account and into this Discord community. And because we all think this is a funny inside joke, people are going to buy it and I'm going to earn a commission. Well, earning 10 to 40% on each of those sales can add up, and it can be a really interesting side hustle or a full-time gig for somebody who is interested in entering the creator economy.
Oh, that's awesome. And so just kind of digging into that a little bit more, like, do they have to be like, if I want my NFT on there, does it kind of need to be like CC0 projects, that kind of thing? Or is it just more creating my own stuff that's kind of derivative things that's not necessarily like the IP of that project and that kind of thing?
Yeah, so CC0 or you owning the rights, basically when you're submitting a design, you're signing a document that says that you own the full rights and that you have the commercial rights for being able to use this design. We're still working out a way to blacklist certain people if they break those terms of service, and all user generated content sites have this problem of trying to figure out how to moderate while still being decentralized, and so that's one of the things that as a community we're discussing, and we have some interesting solutions for being able to flag things that maybe are copyrighted or are a part of an IP collection that that person didn't have the rights to. But on the whole, we feel like we're creating a utility for NFTs that hasn't really existed. So anybody can connect their wallet and they can take one of their PFP NFTs and they can drop it into one of our streetwear templates. And it basically becomes like a streetwear style frame that square PFP can live in to make it look a little bit more interesting on a garment. Anybody can do that anytime, and it's a great way to elevate your PFP onto a hoodie or a t-shirt in a way that will look good as you wear it around in the world. But the utility that I haven't seen in NFTs is if I have a really good design for something that I think is going to have a lot of attention. So one of the things that you see in the print on demand space all the time, and there's kind of an old adage, is that I can put a dog on a t-shirt and I will sell a handful of t-shirts to dog lovers. I can put a basset hound on a t-shirt and target it towards people who have basset hounds, and I'll sell even more t-shirts. I can put a basset hound on a skateboard holding a cup of coffee, and I can run ads to people who have basset hounds, drink coffee, and skateboard, and I will sell more t-shirts than anything else because I'm creating an emotional, salient buying experience where somebody is like, oh my God, those are my 3 favorite things. And so you learn that formula when you're designing for print on demand. And if you apply that formula to things that are relevant in crypto, you can really start to increase your conversion rate. And so that basset hound holding a cup of coffee on a skateboard, it's not a PFP. It's not necessarily the type of NFT that somebody would normally create. You created that specifically so that you could increase merchandise sales. But now that you've minted it, we have an interesting thing in the NFTreasure NFT marketplace that'll be launching in February that we call an ecom value indicator. So that basset hound holding the coffee on a skateboard, let's say that it does $1,000 worth of sales over the last 30 days. Well, the ecom value of that would be 1,000 then. And so that's how I know that design across hoodies, t-shirts, everything that it was on, it did $1,000 worth of sales. Well, if my treasure key is leveled up to 150, that means that I'm earning a commission of $400 at an ecom value of 1,000. I'm earning $400 a month on that. So what does that mean that design is worth? Because as the artist, maybe I want to sell it while it's hot, and so I could sell that design, or I could list it, or if I'm not an artist but I have a high key level and I want to speculate on which designs are going to earn me the most commissions, I can look at that ecom value, buy that NFT, and now I'm basically buying the commission rights to that piece of art, and any future sales will transfer with that NFT. So the ecom value, or what we call ecom arbitrage, I think is a new utility in NFTs that is specific to kind of a print on demand mindset. And I think both creators and artists and degens are going to be interested as more and more designs that have ecom value pop up in the gallery, because we had a great group of designs that was submitted today that was basically state-based. So it has the outline of the state of Texas, where we are, and then it has the project logo in the center of that. So that's a great example of me being able to now target ads on people that live in Texas and that are into that project. And so because there's a crosshash of content ideas there, potentially the ecom value of that could go up. And then what does it mean if that sells $2,000 this month? The ecom value is $2,000. Now I'm a speculator. I'm interested in earning that $800 in commissions that would come from that. I can make an offer on that NFT. And is that offer 3 months worth of commissions? Is it 12 months worth of commissions? When the ecom value indicator launches in February, I think this is going to be a really interesting thing to see how the free market treats this.
Dude, that's pretty cool, man. Did you say, can you also create hats on there as well?
Yeah, so we haven't launched hats yet, but our manufacturer has 2 huge embroidery machines, and we're getting everything set up. So in February, you'll be able to order hats, and we created a really interesting software program that digitizes NFT art into an embroidery file. So one of the things that happens with embroidery is that it has to be rasterized in a certain way in order to be matched with the type of threading that will happen. And usually this can cost $10 to $30 just to rasterize the image. Well, we've created an API that white labels a particular piece of software that immediately takes your NFT, rasterizes it so that it can be embroidered, and then we can embroider that right on a hat. And the hats look really cool, and so this is going to be a really interesting way to display your PFPs, or to just create branded merchandise for your project by having these cool embroidered pieces.
No, that's awesome. And actually, it's funny that you say that. I was actually just at Lids the other day in the mall, like trying to figure out what's the process to get a hat created. And now we don't even have to bother with that, because you're exactly right. That's what they said, is they can turn it into there's a certain file type that they need, and so you'll just have all of that handled, and already doing it better than Lids, who's been in the hat business for who knows how long. So well done on that.
Yeah, shout out to Lids. They're owning the mall game. But
Right.
yeah, for people that are looking to easily create embroidered products, we definitely have created a unique suite of tools for that.
That's awesome.
Sweet, man. And you already talked a little bit about how the NFT itself works. Can you talk a little bit also maybe about the tokenomics of, like, I believe it's the treasure key, which is the NFT,
Yeah.
and then the smarter token and the treasure token?
Yeah, so the treasure key, which is our primary NFT that we'll be minting at the end of February, basically the way that works is you burn smarter tokens to upgrade your key level, and your key level can go from 1 to 150. And with your key, you can unlock treasure boxes. When you unlock treasure boxes, you earn treasure token, and treasure token is the value capture token of the ecosystem. So you're essentially burning smarter coin in order to earn more treasure, which then captures the value of the merchandising business. Now, you can amplify the rate at which you earn treasure by increasing your treasure tier. So every time you open a treasure box, you burn a little bit of treasure on the hope that you're going to open that box successfully, and you will then earn a payout of treasure over an extended period of time. So one of the things that we found in other DeFi games is that a lot of times, once you stake a certain token or NFT, that token will pay out forever. And so even if I decide that I don't want to be in that project anymore, or I forget about crypto, the project is still paying out a high inflation amount of those tokens to people who aren't even active users anymore. We created a tiered treasure box system where when you open a treasure box, it's going to pay out a treasure yield for 7 days. You on treasure tier 1, we have 7 tiers where you can upgrade up to treasure tier 7. So once you get to treasure tier 7, you basically earn treasure token for up to 28 days at a higher rate. And every time you drop down, the rate that you're earning treasure tokens decreases. The reason for this is that if you decide to give up on crypto or go away after 28 days, we don't want to keep paying out treasure inflation to people who aren't active. So you have to log into the platform at least once every 7 days to be able to keep earning. And you can amplify the amount of treasure that you're earning by engaging with both the treasure box mechanism and, in our bonus pool, all of the different token staking mechanisms. The other reason that we do this is that we I have a sponsor, like as a marketing director for different businesses. I've been able to negotiate sponsorship deals for many past businesses that I've been a part of. And we feel that there's an opportunity for us to say, hey, we have 6,000 people who log into the site every single day. Do you want to hide something in these treasure boxes that they're opening? And so we could do an NFT where, and we're planning on doing NFTs where, in addition to the treasure tokens that you're earning, we'll hide an NFT in those treasure boxes, and using Chainlink VRF, one person out of 100 will win one of these NFTs that'll pop out of the treasure box. And that NFT could be things like a Trezor wallet, an Xbox, these different physical prizes. And the way that our e-commerce store is set up is that we can take an NFT as payment. So you'll basically take that NFT, You'll log into the e-commerce site, you'll select your prize, you'll pay for it with the NFT that you won, or if you don't want an Xbox, you'll sell it on the secondary market, and then we'll ship that physical item to you. And so we feel like this is going to be a really interesting prize distribution system that provides an exponential curve on the rewards that are available, because in addition to the treasure tokens, which you can redeem for merchandise or in the liquidity pool, you also, every time you open a treasure box, have the opportunity to win these larger prizes.
Are there going to be any treasure key NFTs or treasure boxes in the worm farm on Chicken?
I would love to have that conversation, and I know that there's been a lot of people that are hitting me up in the DMs from the Chicken community about doing something like that. So I think, one of the things that I love that's happening in the AVAX ecosystem right now is that there's such camaraderie between projects. And with NFTreasure, we were really looking to move away from kind of the toxic nature of crypto at the end of 2021 and find something where we could all grow the pie together. And I think because of the offering that NFTreasure has, we're the perfect project for being able to partner with any other project. And that could be at a tokenomics level or just a merchandise level. But we really want to provide projects with ancillary income and revenue based on merchandise sales. And I think that could open up all kinds of interesting back end deals that serve mutually beneficial to both communities. So yeah, we would love to have people foraging for some of those keys.
Yeah, no, absolutely, man. And I think what's great too is that you guys are you're a company, right? So you have revenue coming in. It's not all based on just Ponzi-nomics. So
yes,
it's really kind of cool to see it kind of a sustainable project that have some real world value. So I mean, it's really exciting, man.
And that word is exactly when we first had our pitch competition, it was pitch what you think a sustainable DeFi system would look like. And so really the idea was, okay, well, outside from continuing to get more people to join the project or continuing to create NFT after NFT, a token after token, like these are all mechanisms that can float the ball for a while, but ultimately there's a fatigue that happens. And so we decided that print on demand and this higher level quality of merchandise that would demand a higher price would be an interesting input into the game that wouldn't make us so reliant on Ponzi-nomics.
Yeah, no, that's awesome, and I just think it's so well designed because you do have that real life utility for it. So it's something that we already know that they want. They love the merch, and it just adds value to your holders and the ecosystem with that. So I think that's pretty awesome. I want to dig into a little bit more on the payment method. So you mentioned a few different ways. You mentioned Apple Pay is an option for that, and you also mentioned NFTs can be used as well. Can folks pay with crypto as well? Are there any kind of like how does that all work in terms of ways to pay and that kind of thing?
Yeah, so on the back end of the e-commerce, you can pay with a debit or credit card like you would in any e-commerce store. But then we also have a crypto pay function where you can pay with any of the tokens that we've added into our ecosystem. So we're constantly adding new tokens, and we're adding a lot of the meme tokens available. So you can shop with your cock right now. And one of the things that we think will be interesting, especially as we scale up more designs and move into our launch in February, is that when we know that when AVAX goes up or when AVAX runs cock sprints, and so these sprints sometimes look like these 35% jumps in token price. Well, when that happens, there's a kind of emotional ecstasy that happens in everybody in the community because they're like, we're winning. And it's the same thing that happens at a casino when you're winning, where you're just like, I'm buying everybody a drink, I'm buying everybody a steak dinner. And so what we want to do is find interesting ways to run Twitter ads into various meme coin communities when their tokens are pumping and saying, hey, you can shop with your cock. Take it. Cock is up 35% today. Take some of those gains and buy a hoodie so that you can remember this moment and how good it feels. Yeah. And we feel like this is going to be an interesting way to increase conversion rate, because if I just made $3,000 off of a meme coin that just pumped, it almost doesn't even feel like real money to me. And so why not go buy $100 hoodie? And our hoodies aren't even that expensive. And so we think that this is going to be a really interesting way to convert people in what we used to call it Google salient moments. So when somebody's like at an emotional high, that's a really interesting time to present your project to them, because they will associate the affinity of that moment with your project if you allow them to spread the love of that. And so we would love to see something where a token goes up 30,000%, and you see people that are just flipping hoodies off to everybody in their Twitter feed, and I think that's probably the place that we get with this.
Very cool. Now, one other question I had. So you mentioned earlier you can pay with an NFT. How does that work? Is that like an actual is that like a virtual gift card kind of thing where you could use that, or how does that function?
Yeah, it functions basically like a coupon code or a gift card would in a normal e-commerce store. So basically, you connect your wallet, you sync the NFT, and then depending on how it's set up, there's two different things that you can do. You either burn it, and so basically by burning it, you get the credit of that NFT. So it could be a coupon code for 30%, and you burn it to get that 30%. Or it could be a full-on 100% discount for a particular product. You burn that, and then you're able to get the product on the other side. One of the things that we're experimenting with that I think it could be interesting is basically NFT coupons that have credits in them. So think about if you're on a particular whitelist that we partner with, or if you're on an NFT project that we partner with, and we airdrop 30% coupon NFTs to everybody in that project. Well, you go in, you buy your hoodie, you get your 30% discount, but then there's 3 credits on that NFT, and so one of those credits gets burned, but now you have 2 more, so you can now share that with somebody else that you think would be interested in the NFTreasure marketplace. And so we feel like social commerce is something that all e-commerce reward systems are trying to solve for, and we think that this could be an interesting game theory way of letting people kind of share out coupon codes. I mean, imagine if you won an Xbox and there's 3 credits on there, and then you get to share that with one of your friends, or you get to sell it in the secondary marketplace. Like, these are the type of things that I think, as all of this functionality gets built out over the next 30 to 90 days, and we phase out each of these features, I think there's a lot of social buzz that we can build around these things. And the beauty of the e-commerce business model, which I've been the beneficiary of, I've been in some kind of merchandising for 30 years now. And the beauty of this model is that you build out repeat customers. Once somebody gets an NFTreasure hoodie or a t-shirt, and it's not the crappy shirt that everybody else is sending out, but instead somebody says, you know what, this is my favorite new shirt. Like, once that happens in somebody's mind, they're going to return, and every time they get into a new project, they're going to go and buy gear from that project from NFTreasure. And so one of the things that we think is going to happen is that our customer list will continue to grow, but our repeat customer list is going to be activated month over month over month. And DeFi is actually an interesting way to make premium products cheaper. We feel like if you play the NFTreasure DeFi game well, you'll earn enough treasure to be able to redeem that for a free hoodie every single month. And to us, that's a more interesting use case of DeFi, other than just Ponzi-nomics, gambling, all of these things. Like, think about at a macro level, if we can build out a use case that showcases that DeFi can make a good product cheap or even free, that's a very interesting way to approach some of the issues that we have at the macro level in our world.
Sweet. Man, a lot of information, dude. My mind's going in a bunch of different directions. So thinking more on the creative side, I'm always thinking about my son. He's younger. He's an artist. Is there something like on the creator side, if I was to explain to him, like, dude, you need to start drawing something? I know you touched on a little bit on the community side and maybe community artists. Is there something for just artists in general that they could take advantage of the whole system?
Yeah.
And or where would they start? I guess if I was explaining this to my son, like simple terms
Right.
for
Well,
him.
well, the thing when it comes to creating a product that is going to gain some traction is really tapping into something that has a passionate audience, right? So, almost all crypto projects have some sort of an inbuilt passionate community, and so many projects can just put a logo put their logo on a hoodie, and their community is going to bend over backwards to buy it because they've been waiting for that project to have some kind of a hoodie where they can raise their hand and say, "This is me." But the way that artists should think about it that aren't involved with a project, and the way that projects really should think about their merchandise is merchandise can be lead gen for your project if you tap into a larger macro idea. So if I'm an NFT project, I could slap the logo of my NFT, over the chest and put it on the back, and then I could sell that, and it will likely sell really well to my existing community. But if I take kind of a degenerate looking skeleton and put him on an old Ferrari, and he's wearing a cowboy hat, and it has an arrow pointing to it, and it says "me with all my money in NFTs," and then down in the bottom is my project logo, that now appeals to everybody in NFTs. And so I can actually use it as a lead gen to get people to know about my project. And using the NFC chip, once they get that garment, we could then seed them with a video that tells them more about your project. So the way to always think about what's going to sell commercially as an artist is people buy things that represent them, that they can raise their hand and say, "This is me." So, what are the things that are really salient right now? Unfortunately, it's like politics. It's like what crypto project you're in. It's what school you went to. It's the type of job or profession that you have. Like I'd be willing to bet that if you told your son, "Hey, make a funny T-shirt about dentists," and it was just like a guy yanking somebody's tooth, and the caption said, "Sue me, I'm a dentist," like that would probably sell to dentists, because for a dentist it's like, oh, that's kind of funny. And so you want to think about like what's going to make somebody smile, what's going to make somebody chuckle, and it doesn't always have to be that, but that is in e-commerce, in an ADHD world, when somebody's scrolling the gram 50 miles an hour, you need something that's going to give them an emotional reaction. And so that's the type of thing that you want to be thinking about. And you want to say, okay, real estate agents, what's funny to a real estate agent? So I'm putting myself on the spot here, but maybe it's a guy that's like sitting outside a house, and there's all of these balloons that have collapsed onto the ground, and it just says open house, and so it's this play on this thing that nobody ever shows up to your open house. I don't know if that would sell well or not, but
that was
like,
so mild. You got to dig deep, man. Dig deep and get dirty.
Someone who's actually in that industry would be able to partner with an artist and really tap into the thing that's going to hit a nerve, and either in a good or bad way. But you're looking for a pattern interrupt, right? That's the type of stuff that sells and gets viral traction, because it's the type of thing that you're going to order for your friend as a as a joke, because it's just a way for you to share joy with someone.
Yeah, no, absolutely, dude. It's all about spreading joy, right? All about spreading joy. But man, to kind of wrap up, you said the treasure key mint is coming up in the end of February. Is there an actual date yet, or is that still kind of?
So one of the things that we'll be voting on soon in our Discord is what the actual date of the launch is going to look like. So if you're interested in being involved in that, you can join the Discord and get set up in there, and in our announcements channel we announce all of our votes. NFTreasure has been a compilation of 220 community-driven votes. So, everything from what's the project name to me elected as the project lead. We've allowed the community to really steer the ship on this. And if you're interested in being a part of that community and having a say-so in kind of the future of this project, we'd love to invite you into the Discord, and you can vote on that launch day. You can get set up as a beta tester. Anybody can get on the whitelist right now for NFTreasure at NFTreasure.com, and the whitelist earns you a 10% discount on the mint. So we're also going to be voting on what the price point for the mint is, but it's likely going to be in the $100 range, so probably around 3-4 AVAX. And the more keys that you have, the more treasure that you earn, and the more interesting things you can do with your rewards on the back end. So if you go to NFTreasure.com, there's a 1-hour master guide video that kind of unpacks the whole ecosystem and how everything connects together. There's a lot going on, and there's tons of ways that you can maximize your rewards, even if you're just a degen looking for token yield. But if you're a designer or have a creative spirit, there's a lot of ancillary ways to get into the creator economy using NFTreasure as an input.
Nice.
Very cool.
Man.
And so if I am that creator, so I think for right now, you mentioned that there's kind of a promotional period where you don't necessarily have to have an NFT because it's not there. So let's say I put some 2.6 merchandise on the store now. Do I convert that over to like the same way if I have a key, am I key holder, or how does that work if I kind of want to, I'm really excited, I want to get started now, even before the mint happens?
Yeah, so basically you can go to NFTreasure.com. On the homepage, you're going to see the I think 7 different product offerings that we have. So let's say that you wanted to create a 2.6 podcast hoodie. You click on the hoodie button, that's going to bring up the product creator tool. You're going to upload your logo and your art and set it up however you want it, and then you're going to click the order now button. When you order now, in the coupon code, you're going to put in the coupon no ship, just create. And what that will do is zero out the price and send it to the back end of our store, at which point we will convert it into a product on the front end and then send you the URL link. So once you do that checkout, there's going to be a Google form to fill out so that we have the information of where you want your commissions to go and your email address, etc. But that's kind of the manual process that we're using right now to get designs up on the site. And for up to 30 days after our mint, so that's basically about 60 days from now, anybody who uploads a design is going to earn the full 40% in commissions. And the reason that we're doing this is to build some buzz about, how much revenue could potentially come in if you have a design that takes off. Because 40% commissions is a really good rate. It's above industry standard, and after the 30 days after mint, commissions are going to reset to 10%, and your commissions from there on out will be based on your treasure key level. So we want to showcase, hey, there's a ton of potential here if you level up your key, and get people excited about like sharing out that, oh, I earned $400 this month from my design on NFTreasure. We think that that's going to build some anticipation for people wanting to mint a treasure key, at which point they're going to have to buy smarter tokens, because smarter coin is how you uplevel your key. It takes 2.1 billion smarter coins to uplevel a key all the way. And so in order to get back to that 40% commissions, you're going to have to burn some smarter coin. And as an homage to the DeFi insanity of 2021, our goal is to burn all of the smarter coin off the face of the planet forever.
Nice. That's awesome. And actually, I did have one other follow-up question on that. So in terms of the keys, so if I have multiple keys, do I only need to level up one all the way to the top in order to get the 40%? Or do keys like combine together to get you up to a certain level? Or how does that part of it work?
Yeah, so basically you'll select which key you want to be your creator key, and that creator key will be the key that you up-level for your commissions. So it's one key that has to be up-leveled to level 150 in order to get the full commission rate of 40%. Now, in the bonus pool, however, we do have a cumulative key score that is one of the 4 levers that allows you to earn from the bonus pool. So you will infinitely maximize your treasure rewards from the bonus pool by having multiple keys leveled up. So if I have 10 keys that are all at key level 10, my cumulative key level is 100. And so I will earn in the bonus pool based on 100 levels rather than just 10.
Nice. No, that makes a lot of sense. And for our chicken listeners that want to put that into another way, so that sounds a lot like if I have a farmland, I only need 1 that I need to get the FERT all the way up to the highest level, but I still have benefits for having others. So so I think that's kind of a cool tangent to that. Don't know if that one was on purpose, but I think it makes a ton of sense, and I'm just excited for the mint.
Yeah,
I think oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, mad love for all the chicken devs. We have so many people in from the chicken community that are in NFTreasure. The overlap is like almost 100%, and so definitely a lot of those ideas, as we've been collecting information and data from the community, have surfaced up from people that at a subconscious level just had the chicken tokenomics baked into their head. We've tried to make it its own thing, and I think we did a good job of differentiating, and we didn't just fork chicken. We didn't fork anything. We built this from the ground up, and I think we added our own spin and innovations. But anyone that's in the chicken community is definitely going to see some similarities, and it's probably going to give you an advantage in gameplay.
Oh yeah. And I definitely wasn't saying like it was forking it. I was just excited that I was like, oh, I understand it, and this is how I can explain what I understand. So that's awesome.
100%. Yeah, there's going to be a lot of chicken to NFTreasure lingo translation that will help people unpack it faster.
Jon Ray, you did mention the website. Are there any other socials that people can find you on or follow you on?
Yeah, the 3 best places are NFTreasure.com. You can find all the socials down in the footer of NFTreasure.com, but 0x NFTreasure on Twitter is where we hang out with all of our degenerate friends. And if you really want to get in the weeds with us, join the Discord. And we have, I think last time I looked at the stats, we had the number 10 most active Discord on Avalanche. So a lot of action that's happening in there. A lot of people talking about game strategy, talking about what designs are going to do well, talking about, all of the different token launches that are happening. And so it's a really fun space to learn about decentralized finance, to learn about the AVAX ecosystem, to learn about crypto as a whole. And it's a place where, just like in the chicken community, you can go in and ask a question and not feel stupid for asking it. All questions are good questions, and we are just interested in growing a crypto-friendly community that can help each other on their degens journey.
I think we're all degens in our own little way.
Okay.
No, that's cool, man. But man, I do want to appreciate you for coming today. I know it's a little bit later in the day, so we appreciate you coming on. Luke, it's always been a pleasure, man. And until next time, you guys got to come check out the NFTreasure website. Follow us all that we're here. Luke152, I'm Realtor Adrian, and Mr. Jon Ray himself. Thank you again, man. We appreciate you.
I appreciate it, guys. Have a good one,
Thanks,
everybody.
Guys. 2-6.